This video will show you how to create a Google profile photo animation using a picture of yourself or your vector portrait. We're going to start off in Photoshop, and I'm going to go to Open. I'm going to open up the picture of myself. This photo is already cropped to a square for the most part, but if you need to crop it, you're going to start by doing that. We want it to be as square as possible because when we upload our profile photos to Google, it will be cropped to a circle, and it uses the square for that. So if you're not sure if it's a square or not, you can just kind of eyeball it or pay attention to where it says width and height there as I'm dragging my cursor around, and that will tell you if it's a square or not. And close enough is fine. So the way I have it here, actually, it's not too bad. I'll just try and even it out a little bit, just a tiny bit. And turning off snap would probably help me here. That's pretty good. Okay. So I have my image here. It does have to be a picture of yourself. So it could be a drawing, it can be your vector self-portrait, or it can be a photo. And within the animation, you get to decide what you're going to do for the animation. Are you going to use a brush? Are you going to draw something? Are you going to stamp something? Are you going to change colors? What are you going to do? The things you need open here are your layers panel. So you got your background layer, and then you need to go to Window, and then we're going to scroll down to where it says Timeline. Click Timeline. And then the default usually will show it as Create Video Timeline. Instead of that, we're going to change it to Create Frame Animation. So you'll click Create Frame Animation. If you accidentally pressed the wrong one, I'll just go to the wrong one here. This is the video timeline. We don't want video timeline. All you have to do is just press these three little frames here, and that will take you back to the frame animation timeline. Now, right now it says 0 seconds. That's good. There's no delay. We can always play around with timing later. But this is where you're building your animation. Your layers are just the pieces that you're going to use for putting your animation together. So I'm going to show you what I mean here. This is going to be the simplest method here. Then I'll show you some other things you can try too. So I'm just going to unlock this layer, and we're going to duplicate layer 0. And to do that, you can right click and just go to duplicate layer, or you can do Control J on the keyboard. And I'm going to do this 4 times because I need at least 5 layers. That's one of the requirements, is 5 different frames. So each frame should do a different thing, essentially. So these are all the same image. I'm just going to turn off all of them, except for that first one. So layer 0, I think I'm going to leave that first one as is. I'm going to turn on layer 0 copy, so it's not going to look like anything happened here. And then I'll do a new frame here. So this duplicates the frame. Here we go, a new frame. And I'm going to change the colors on this one. So let's go to Image, Adjustments, Hue, Saturation. I'll just change it to some wild colors here. Okay. So there's that first frame that I've changed colors. I'm going to go to my next one. So I'll turn on the eye icon here. And you'll see it changed both here, but I just turned this one on, so it changed that one. So don't worry necessarily about building your animation yet. We'll get to that. So this next layer here, let's change the colors on this one to different colors. So Image, Adjustments, Hue, Saturation. You go to like green. Turn on the next one. Image, Adjustments, Hue, Saturation. Go to like blue, and then the next one, Image, Adjustments. Always make sure you're selecting the correct layer too. Let's just go to, I don't know. I'll do this and we'll up the saturation. Woo, wild. Okay. So now it's all about putting it all together. So this first frame, I want just this first layer 0 turned on. So layer 0 is turned on. Layer 2, I don't want anything else except for layer 0 copy. So I'll turn that one on. It's okay to have the ones turned on underneath it because you're not going to see it anyways. They're covering them up. All right, now my next frame, I'll click on this one. So you'll see you just kind of build it as you go. Next one, new frame, and last one. Okay, now I'm going to play it. And here's how it cycles through all the colors. It's got my first one here. It's got 5 frames. 0 seconds means no delay, so it's going to go really quick. If I change the time on this, and I'll just show you how to do it on all of them. So let's say I want it to move a little slower. I have the first frame selected. I have the last frame here. I'm going to hold down Shift and click. And now I've selected all of the frames. Now I can change the time. Let's do like, let's show 0.5. So change it all to 0.5. And you'll see how much slower this is, right? A little bit slower. Now you don't want to probably go longer than a second per frame because that can get really long. Generally, I like to do no delay, or 0.1 is a good place to start. You also want to make sure it says that it's looping forever. Okay. Now from here, when you're happy with it and you're ready to export, you like it, you're going to go to File and then Export and then Save for Web. Now this is very different than how we've saved before. It's just the way to save animated GIFs in Photoshop. So File, Export, Save for Web. You can click Save just to choose where you're going to save it. I'll just save it to my desktop for now. All right. Now we can double check. If it's on my desktop, it should be moving. It's a GIF. That looks good. I'm going to double click on that. And there it goes. Okay. One other thing you might run into, size. So this is a pretty big image. So if you want to resize it, we're going to go to Image, Image Size, and then like 13 by 13, that's way too big. So let's do like 7. Click OK. And you can do that after you've already built your animation. That'll change the size of everything. And then you can just do the same process again, File, Export, and then Save for Web. Now that was like the bare bones, most basic way to do this. I encourage you to do other things than just changing colors. Maybe you're going to use a brush, like a downloaded brush. You're going to draw some things, be creative with it, have some fun, especially if you're going to change your profile picture. You might as well, have something that you actually like. Once you are done though, you're going to upload the GIF. It should be moving. Make sure it's moving, upload that to Google Classroom, and then you're going to change your Google profile picture. I'm going to show you how to do that really quick. So we're going to go to our profile here, see if I can remember how to get there, see if it'll let me. Here we go, it's my settings. And now, if I remember, let's go to appearance. It's on here somewhere. You and Google, manage your Google account. There we go. Okay, so right here, this is my old one. I'm going to just replace it by clicking on the little arrow. I'm going to change it. We're going to go to From Computer, Upload from Computer, and now I can find that GIF. I save that to my desktop. See if it'll add maybe a kind of big. Beautiful. So that's where it being a square is kind of a big deal. We'll click Next, Save as Profile Picture. There it is, and it's available and easy to see, and everyone can see it from now on. Obviously, you can't tell it's really me because I'm so small in that picture, but that's fine. And that's basically it.